And it is 4 o'clock. I'd like to call to order the Board of Public Works and Utilities meeting. Start with call to order and roll call. Alderman Dan Stevens,
Present.
Mayor Kim Smith.
Here.
Jared Holter,
Here.
Sabrina Steger,
Here.
and myself, Stephen Nodden, present. I heard that we have Alder Wolf who is listening in. Is there anyone else?
Karen Marquardt, that's it.
Okay. Karen Markworth, got it. Next is consideration and action on minutes from the previous meeting.
Move for approval?
Second.
Motion to approve minutes from previous meeting by Mayor Smith, seconded by Sabrina Steger. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is passed. Next is public input. Anyone wishing to provide public input will be limited to 3 minutes. Please provide your name and address. This is our first call for public input. Second call for public input. And again, nobody's on cell phone. Okay, third and final call for public input. Public input is closed. Item number 4, sanitary sewer system compliance, maintenance, A and B. And Jared.
Thank you. In your packet tonight is the sanitary sewer maintenance compliance CMAR report that is submitted annually to the Wisconsin DNR. As you can see in the last page, we are receiving an A grade in financial and the collection system maintenance. We do go maintain our minimum financial areas, and we also maintain our system by cleaning 1/3 of the system every year, doing a variety of activities for the system. So really, it's just we do a good job with our sewer maintenance system. We did not have any sanitary sewer overflows in 2023 to report as part of this, so that was also a good thing with that. I guess with that, we're just looking for approval of the resolution attached.
Right, if we're on to item B, I'll make a motion that we approve resolution 20-2024 for the city of Onalaska, Wisconsin DNR NR 208 compliance resolution 2023.
Clarify, it's resolution 22-2024.
Oh, that's not what I said,
No,
then
you said 20. That's okay. That's all right. I knew what you meant.
too many twos.
There you go.
I can
I'll
second.
second.
Okay, second this time by mayor, I guess. So, motion made by Alder Stevens. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 5, consumer confidence report for city waterworks. Back to Jared.
Thank you. In your packet tonight is the 2023 Consumer Confidence Report, or the CCR, as we refer to it in the Public Works Department. This does outline a variety of testing that is performed by the Public Works Department on our water system. Mainly Ashley and Sunny perform a lot of this, or all of the testing actually that is in this report is all required by the Wisconsin DNR through the EPA. It's passing down those regulations. Amber did work on this report actually too. It will be mailed out with the July water bills included in there. We do have a variety of things in the report. One of the things I would highlight, we do test for copper and lead every 3 years. We did have one copper sample that exceeded the action level, but we would need 4 samples out of those 30 samples to exceed that action level in order for it to be a violation. We do perform a variety of testing on the copper in our system throughout that 3-year period, not just when the mandatory sampling occurs. One of the new things in the report I'd point out on page 4, the back page, is PFAS testing. We were required to sample for PFAS as part of the sampling in 2023. The EPA is passing down new maximum contaminant levels that will be enforced over the next 5 years. Our compounds for PFAS were below those limits, as you can see in the report that is shown. One of the ones to point out is PFOA, which would be the third one down. You can see that the level that is recommended is below 20, but that will actually be lowered to 4 once the EPA comes out with the new, when they start enforcing the new guidance. With that, we do also perform investigative monitoring sampling at least once a year, and we're going to actually ramp some of that up to quarterly due to one of our wells, well number 9, having shown some of the PFAS compounds in there, but below the maximum contaminant level. But we did get a recent test that are pushing the limits. They are raising, so we are going to continue that quarterly sampling to look at that well and get some better data. And as we sample that, we will be bringing it back to the Board of Public Works over time. But like I said, the actual EPA standards won't be enforceable until 2029. So there's time to see what data we come up with. But other than that, it's just placed on file and wanted to bring it forward, and it'll be going out to the public. Have any questions? Go
Move
ahead.
we accept and place on file?
Yep.
I'll second. Move to place, to accept and place on file by Mayor Smith, seconded by myself. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next is item number 6, professional engineering services for MS4 stormwater permit, stormwater quality program. Back to Jared.
This is part of our MS4 permit. This is our municipal separate stormwater permit. Kevin does a variety of work with this permit, performs the annual report, does a variety of tasks, participates in the educational group that is a consortium that the city participates in. But it comes down to we just don't have the staff level for this. We did do a variety of work last year. We hired Strand Associates to do this work. They have done it for us in the past. Last year, we actually did a little over $50,000 worth of work because we actually had to respond to a number of questions that were brought up during our every 5-year audit done by the Wisconsin DNR. This year, we're going to basically have them do a variety of BMP inspections, provide summaries, narratives on all of those, look at some outfalls that we have to look at as part of our permit. Also provide sampling of 2 outfalls as part of this, and then prepare a report to put all this together so we can meet our Wisconsin DNR stormwater permit at the end of each year. So we did budget for this in the operating expenses as part of the stormwater utility budget. And that is at a total cost of, what was it, Kevin? 34,000 even.
Is it 34,000 or 34,750? I was curious
30,
with the owner's responsibilities, number 4, it says another 750. Or is that part of the 30?
we would pay for that out of our laboratory, out of our regular operating budget as a separate item.
Okay,
Yep.
all right, so 34,000. Got
Yep,
it.
correct.
Right, well, I'll make a motion to approve the stormwater, the 2020, is it 2023 or 2020?
2024.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
2024 MS4 stormwater permit evaluation, not to exceed $34,000.
I'll second.
That was Sabrina Steger second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 7, Brightspeed fiber build within the city of Onalaska. Again, back over to Jared.
Thank you. This is, I'm going to turn over to Kevin. He wants to update you with some recent information regarding the Brightspeed build in the city of Onalaska.
Okay,
Yep, so thank you, Jared. So yeah, just following up, this item was on last month's agenda. Brightspeed now over the last probably 2 to 3 weeks has submitted quite a few permits for their build here. Just one thing I wanted to point out, just so it was on the record here. Brightspeed, they have a lot of existing easements through rear property lines, right? Where they wouldn't come in, like TDS and Metronet have been doing builds out sort of in the front of people's homes in the boulevard spaces or something, but Brightspeed has taken over the CenturyTel, CenturyLink infrastructure. So some of that infrastructure has a lot of rear yard easements included with that. So just wanted to make, the board here, city staff and the general public aware, right, for the Brightspeed fiber build that will be happening this year. They will be using a lot of their rear yard easements. So just want to make sure it was on file. That's sort of a newer, maybe it'll be new. That's an older technology or way to do it, right? So they will be using those. So in case any alders get calls, right? I've gotten permits that from every alder district we have, will have some of these rear yard access points or builds in there. So just want to make sure everybody is aware in case they get calls. These are existing easements that they have, but it'd just be something, and most of, there should be facilities currently back there, but it would be a change, right? Because people will be working in the rear yard of people's homes instead of more out front. So just want to make everybody aware of that.
So this is not action necessary, it's just information.
Just information,
Right.
so we could say it's out there and so everybody knew about it, right, as you read minutes here for
I
the
have-
council.
A question, since we're only a couple weeks out,
Yep.
how is Brightspeed informing the neighborhoods when they're coming in?
I have been on there for that. Currently, their plan would be to place a door hanger on the resident's door a couple days before construction would be incurring in their area.
Okay, does the door hanger have a Brightspeed number to call if they have questions?
I would assume so. It's not something I've vetted, right?
Okay.
Just going through, right? Some of this is, for me, is the responsibility of that, I have their 800 number that will get out once they get going, right? But in terms of, managing or QAQCing, their informational materials, right? We have not done that currently with either of the other builds, right? The TDS or MetroNet. We always push that you should be informing residents before you start construction in an area, right? And we've asked them to do that, but, saying it has to be there 2 weeks before or a week, we haven't gotten into that level of detail within the permitting, as a clause for that. So,
Good thing with the Brightspeed build is they do have a local, because they've got more of a local presence because they're already established here. We do have a relationship with the local project engineer that does a variety of projects, isn't necessarily in charge of this one, but we have been referred to him. If we got someone, we can also refer the 800 number, or if we get into something, we can refer to their local contact.
yep. And I have in correspondence with the Brightspeed build team, been fairly clear that the earlier you notify residents,
Absolutely.
the better. I've also been open with them potentially now of potentially fiber fatigue, right? That will be now, this will be the third consecutive year that they'll be going. TDS's build will be in the same area as the Brightspeed build, right? West of Highway 53. So we could have overlapping builds going on, right? And potentially people seeing infrastructure for the second or third time along their property, especially towards, the Wilson Street or Oak Forest Drive area where MetroNet has some build in there too. So,
Not expecting you to be able to forecast the future, but do we expect any others to be doing this in the future? That we're
I would
aware
not
of?
be able,
That we're aware of?
that we're currently aware of now, no.
Okay,
Right? And now with MetroNet, Brightspeed, TDS, and Charter all providing service, I would think our market would be saturated enough where a newer, but it's some of the things that we can't predict.
anyone else?
Yeah.
Dan?
So on the service map that's attached, we've got part of it, I don't see a legend, so part of it's green, part of it's red is,
The red is aerial and the green is underground.
Yeah, right. So the red is, they'll attach to XL poles, right? That's currently what they have, right? Some on that western side, some alleys, and even some of the other poles, right? Brightspeed's current plant is an aerial plant. So that would be the difference in the two colors, Dan.
so really any area in the red or green might potentially have.
They would both potentially have a rear yard easement, right? One might be bored underground where the green is and the red would be there, in that case, there are already poles back there, right? Some of the areas of the city, even close to City Hall, even the electric service comes off a rear yard easement. So a lot of times there's some infrastructure already in people's rear yards, right? It'll just be a difference of people accessing it. And I'm trying to work on Brightspeed about, how we manage fences and stuff and access through potential, between homes, right? How they're gonna do that or notify people,
Okay.
when, you're potentially walking through a side yard to get to the thing instead of if you can't, navigate the easement from the end of the blocks.
Any other questions?
As a side note, I did see TDS's contractor Miller Underground start construction today in the Riders Club area.
Okay. I just, I would ask that, I'm sure you're probably doing it anyway, that you continue to coordinate with them as closely as possible with the communications aspect, because that really, that transparency, especially if it's early, helps to alleviate some of the emotional response to this, instead of just showing up of what is this? So, yeah.
Well, and also if they repair the yards right away.
Well, there's that too. Yeah.
Chair,
Yes, Diane.
if I may ask a question, thank you. So just philosophically thinking, I know when we have talked in the past year, I believe it was a homeowner in First District had a concern about that. They felt they did not get proper notification for a fine for not shoveling their front yard, or front, excuse me, for not shoveling the sidewalk. And I remember at that point in time, council did go ahead and make motions and seconds and passed that our City of Onalaska door hangers would provide additional information. So the homeowners knew exactly what the cost would be and such. I'm just curious, why doesn't any of us think that we could also, as part of the permitting process, have that as part of a, I'm just kind of following up on Alder Knott's comments earlier, but kind of expanding on that. Why have we considered the possibility of maybe as part of that permitting process to like have minimum requirements that, you know, so many days prior to them arriving that they will give notification. If you read Nextdoor app or anything, what's going on in La Crosse, they have encountered so many problems. And I don't want to be La Crosse. I think that Onalaska should be doing it better. I think our residents deserve better. They demand better. And I'm just throwing that out for Board of Public Works to chew on before it gets to council. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
I would just offer that Kevin's been in direct, I mean, Kevin, you got probably about 25 permits in the last 2 weeks from Brightspeed. Kevin's been working through them. He's sent emails to the Brightspeed representatives, you know, trying to flush out those things and trying to get more time and trying to encourage them as part of the process to send a letter or, you know, put the door hanger in a week beforehand. You know, we're apprehensive of the door hanger because it's the fact that somebody's not going to use the door, they're not going to see it, and then they're going to come, we're going to receive a comment that wasn't good enough communication. Same thing if they get a Brightspeed letter in the mail, they're going to think it's an offer to do something with more phone, they're going to junk it. So, you know, we're trying to do the best we can with what we're trying to do without, and they're gonna, I mean, there's probably 5,000 of the 7,000 residences in the city of Onalaska are gonna be impacted in some shape or fashion. So it's just a big project. Just like we said, when TDS and Metronet came to town, it's a big project and they're gonna try and do as best they can. Probably the biggest thing that we found that was good when TDS's build came in was they had an on-site foreman that would go talk to people as they were either working in their yard or as complaints came in. And I think that was probably the biggest thing that really benefited the process. But short of requiring in the permit to have them knock on every door, and we don't have the staff to go around and make sure they're doing it, and just a tough deal.
Yeah, I think door hangers are sufficient personally. It's just when are they going to be put out and do they have enough information on them is the big question I have. So. Mayor.
I was just gonna say, I hear what Alder Wolf is saying and I do want to be responsible and do the best we can to inform our citizens. But then also I think a certain part of me, realizes that these companies coming in, they're trying to win the neighbor's business. So they're hoping that, when they know they have another option, that they may be able to sell them the product that they're putting in. So I believe that will partly want to motivate them to have positive relationships in the neighborhood.
And again, TDS, I think, was the model for that. I can't speak for the entire city, but they did go knocking door to door in my neighborhood. I mean, that's, yeah, and we're handing out information, telling us if there's any questions, call and everything. It was pretty proactive, so. All right, any other questions or comments? All right, moving on. Pay estimates. Item number 8, we have 10 items.
I move that we approve the pay estimates in our packet dated June 4th. There are 10 items.
Second,
And then
motion made to approve. Oh, one moment.
under discussion,
Yeah, so first, just for whoever's taking notes, motion made to approve was made by Mayor Smith, seconded by myself. Any discussion? Go ahead.
in your packet tonight, under number 4, we did not have the estimate back yet. That was said to be determined. That amount is $12,391.25. And we are also requesting that the dynamic concrete estimate number 6, estimate number 2 be changed to $47,149.06.
Say
That-
that again, please.
$47,149.06, 47,149.06.
What was the one for number 4?
12,391.25, 12,391.25. And those new numbers all fall within the budgeted amounts and
I'll make an amendment to my motion that we adjust items 4 and 6 as described by Jared.
Second. So first, is there, again, motion made by the Mayor Smith, seconded by myself. Are there any other discussion? So first we vote on the amendment. All those in favor of the amendment, please say aye. Opposed? Amendment passes. Second is to vote on the entirety of the monthly estimates. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. And that concludes the Public Works portion. When we move on to utilities, number 9 says there is no report. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Motion to adjourn by Mayor Smith, seconded by Sabrina Steger. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Opposed? We are adjourned. Time is 4:22.